Good morning. Quilters don't just quilt. They also repair and bring life back to beloved stuffies such as Piggy. This is a friend's stuffy and it has been loved to bits. So my challenge today is to take him apart and wash him, and eventually, once he's dry, replace his stuffing, his beans to help him sit better, and return him to his owner. Wish me luck. Okay, so when I got Piggy yesterday, I searched for where he was sewed shut, and generally they're sewed shut on the back. So if you pull apart his back seam, you can see the stitches right along this seam line, and then eventually down the back you can see that they're further apart, and that's clearly where he was stuffed. So I will reverse engineer him. You can see here he was sewed with a sewing machine. If you pull these stitches apart, right there, that's a sewing machine, and then just a little bit beyond that is where the hand stitching started. So I have my seam ripper, and I'm going to go in carefully and find a stitch and pop it. Here's the first one. And then you just slowly, gently start pulling them apart using your seam ripper or a pair of little scissors. Oh, he's coming apart. Wow, he was really pink. Look how pink he was. Look how pink he used to be. So it would be crazy if we could get him back to super pink. Wow, look at him. And I gotta find some thread to sew him shut that'll be nice and sturdy. Maybe some embroidery floss might work. Or maybe, looks like this thread was white. The thread he was sewn together with was white. And the main thread he was sewed together with was white. Because here we've stopped. So now this is where I stop, and down here is where I stop. So this was his stuffing hole. So now we'll take out all his stuffing. Ooh, nasty. Ooh, wow. Some of it is bad though. The beads we gotta be careful with. Wow. I might need some scissors, but I wanna see how many ounces of stuffing this all took. Wow, it's practically like glued to. There we go. Ooh. Bottom of him is out. The beads are all still in his there. Okay, there's the stuffing. Okay, we'll put that in here. Now the beads, perfect, are in a little sack. And it's sewed on. So cool to see how this is. It's connected, it's all twisted, but it's connected to a teeny little, let's see if we can unspin it. Which way? This way? Nope. Okay, so it's connected right here. And I'll just remove it, and I could rinse this sack of beads, and I wonder if I could take it out without making a hole in this sack. I don't want to make a hole in the sack. Let's see how it was connected. And turn it this way. I think there's the thread, I think. Yep. Okay. That has been removed safely and no holes in the sack. And it was attached right there, right there. So really just about this far in from his tag. Cool. All right. Now, I want to figure out, so his feet are stuffed as well. And I'm wondering if I should leave those as stuffed as they are, leave them that way, or take them out and re-sew them. Part of me wants to just leave the stuffing in his feet and hands because I don't really want to seriously take them apart. Because it's more the body that's pretty floppy. All right. Okay, here he goes for his first bath of I don't know how many, but he's going in. Sudsy water. And we're just gonna let him soak. I'm gonna try to get the water into his feet, but he's just gonna soak for a while and we'll see what happens. Let him soak and then I'll work the soap into him. So I'm just gonna sew a few back and forth stitches on the seam here on the inside at the bottom of him. This is, I just picked the spot of the sack of beads that is the most, has the most stitching in it, so it won't fall apart, it won't rip. And that's kind of how it was when I pulled it out. It was in a corner, it was sewed down in a corner, and it was sewed right in this spot. So I'm putting it back in the same spot, and then I double threaded the thread, so it's going to be on there for a long time. It won't get, yeah, I could have wrapped it around like this, but then I didn't want that loose thread. So now I'm just going to go in here, grab some fiber, go through the loop, tie a knot, and do it a couple more times so it's secure. And then cut it. And then the sack of beads is secured. And I realized I needed to do this before really stuffing a lot of it because it needs to be down at the bottom. So now his sack can go in and hang out at his bottom. Oh, good. So I'm going to keep stuffing. Do a little of that on camera. And I did measure out the same amount of fiber that was in him. It was 3 ounces, and I measured it out, and it's a ton. Let me see if I can show you. So I've already stuffed his head, and then here's the rest, right, in a bin, and then this was the original, and it got so compacted. So I think since this is a restuff of him, I will put in less than 3 ounces because the person who this is for didn't want it to be super stiff, even though that's probably how it was when she got it as a little one. And she's not going to be sleeping with it anymore, so it's not going to get as crushed. So I think that's my plan. All right, so Piggy has all his stuffing in him. And now I am going to sew him shut. I have my thread, nice long, double threaded with a nice knot here. So in order to hide it, I think it's kind of cool how pink he was. And now, well, not cool. I'm gonna go in here and come out right in the seam there. And that way my knot will be on the inside of Piggy. Right there. So he's there. And then I'm gonna do what I call, actually I'm gonna rotate him around. I'm gonna do what's called a ladder stitch, or sorry, not a ladder stitch, a barrel stitch or a tunnel stitch. So what I do is I go straight across to the other side. And when I teach kids this, I call it, we're hungry and we want to go to the next restaurant. So go straight across to the other side, grab a bite to eat. And what I'm going to try and do is follow the line here. And the stitches are, you know, about that big. They can be smaller. Actually, I think I'm going to take them a little more sideways. There, so I'm gonna follow the line of color change. So when you watch this, when I sew him shut, that stitch is gonna pull shut. Then I go straight across to this side. I don't wanna go that far away because then you'll end up with a hole. So I go straight across from my other stitch. From this one, I'm gonna go straight across, follow the line of color, and then pull it shut, and it's going to start to zip it shut basically. So now I'm going to take my thread and go straight across to the other side, grab a bite to eat. And this is when I tell kids, I say, we're going to go to the other side, we're still hungry, what restaurant are we going to go to? And then they'll pick a restaurant, like I don't know, Dunkin' Donuts, get a croissant or something like that. Now this thread is polyester thread and it's very tangly, which drives me nuts, but I wanted polyester because it's stronger than cotton. Cotton will break. But it is very tangly. Maybe I should have run it through my thread conditioner. And actually I think I'll do that. I'm gonna stop this and run and get my thread conditioner. Okay, so I just went and got my thread conditioner. It's called Thread Magic. And so I'm just gonna take it, and you can see I've used this a lot, and I'm gonna run it into this substance and then pull the thread through, and it'll get a nice layer of smooth stuff on it so that it can run through the fabric of the pig better. Okay, back to work. So we're here, we're gonna go straight across. We'll go to the line of color, take a bite, get our croissant. Ooh, look at how much better that sews shut. Ooh, this is great. Okay, then take a bite, going right along the edge of the piggy. Pull it shut, straight across to this side. Take a bite. Again, this is called the barrel or the tunnel stitch. It's kind of like if this was folded, you'd be going in you'd be sewing it in a kind of a tunnel, because see how it's folded? Like right here, say I was to sew here and it's folded. So you're kind of going in a tunnel or a barrel, if you imagine going down into the tunnel and out. Okay. And this is a really good way to sew up stuffed animals. Oh, look at how that thread magic works. Love it. Okay, straight across. If you were to go, I'm not gonna do it because I don't have to take it out. But if you were to go at an angle and not straight across from the other stitch you just made, I wanna make sure it's a little more straight across. Then you'd have a hole, and you don't want that. Okay, that's pretty good. Cross. I'm gonna make sure I'm not shifting out of the view here. Nope, I'm good. See how I'm evening the, see how they want to be, I want them to be even, so kind of checking on that as I go. This is relatively easy to sew. And again, going straight along the color so you don't see the change in color. And I love how it just kind of zips shut. Now we're really going through that tunnel, because I don't have much room for my fingers now. Now I'm just gonna not have my finger in there anymore. See how it opens up each time a little bit, but you can always just cinch it shut. Check that it's all closed. This is a great stitch for sewing up stuffed animals, like the best ever. And I'm gonna do like, so there's where the stitches end from when he had a hole in him. I'm gonna go past that just to give a little added security. There, I'm past the hole that I had. You can't see my stitches because of the lovely pink thread. I'm gonna do like one more. Now, to tie it off, I'm gonna make sure this is all sewed shut. I am just gonna go in to the seam, and I don't know if there's a better way to do this. This is just my hack, and I just grab a small amount, and I'm gonna go into the loop, and then do it one more time, like right in there. Just a small amount. And then make this an actual loop. Okay, there's my loop, go in it, and then pull it tight. And then to hide my end, just gonna go in and come out somewhere else. Don't leave the needle in there. There, you can't even see it, and then snip the end off. And there he's done. Piggy is done. He can sit up. Look at that. I'll back him up so you can see. Oop, that's close. Yeah. There he is. All finished. Not smooshed anymore. Ta-da. He's very thankful. Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, quilters don't just quilt. They also give life back to cherished stuffies.